Battle of the Brains, presented by Invest 529, Central Virginia's high school academic quiz show. Today's match features Ocean Lakes High School versus First Colonial High School. Let's play.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining us here on Battle of the Brains. I'm Cheryl Miller. Our high school academic quiz competition welcomes teams from schools all across the Commonwealth of Virginia. They're competing for a share of $20,000 in scholarship money, courtesy of Invest 529 and the E.W. Scripps Foundation. The academic athletes joining us today for round two are the Dolphins, representing last season's Battle of the Brains champions, Ocean Lakes High School, coached by Miranda Blazer and Lisa Gibson. Ocean Lakes is a public high school in Virginia Beach. It houses the Math and Science Academy, which opened 30 years ago as the first of several magnet programs in that district. Also with us today, the Patriots of First Colonial High School, coached by Carl Naki. First Colonial High School is part of the Virginia Beach City Public School District. The fully accredited school is home to the Legal Studies Academy. Their creed is to put students first, seek growth, be open to change, do great work together, and value differences. It's great to have all of these students back here with us today to play Battle of the Brains. Our match will consist of 3 toss-up rounds and a category round. Players will buzz in, wait for me to call on them, and give their answer. Any interruption of questions with an incorrect answer will result in a point deduction. There's no deduction for an incorrect answer to a completed question. All right, students, good luck. Buzzers ready. Let's start the first toss-up round. Which 2 cities on opposite sides of the Danube were unified in 1873 to become the nation's contemporary capital? Clark.
Buda and Pest.
That is correct. What is the only cardinal number that cannot be represented by Roman numerals? Layla.
0.
That is correct. The launching of the Spanish Armada in 1588 was predicted by the execution of what British monarch the year previously? Predicated, rather. Liam.
Charles I.
That is incorrect. Ocean Lakes. Clark.
Elizabeth I.
It was actually Mary, Queen of Scots. Ciao is a greeting or parting word in which language? Clark.
Italian.
That is correct. Spell that word, ciao. Clark.
C-I-A-O.
That is correct. Precision and Jazz are models of bass guitars produced by which guitar company? Maddie.
Fender.
Fender is correct. In the 1860s, this fort harbored thousands of fugitive slaves who were declared contraband of war. It thus earned its nickname, Freedom's Fortress. Name this Virginia fort named for a U.S. president located... Liam.
Fort Monroe.
Fort Monroe is correct, located where Hampton Roads meets the Chesapeake Bay. You may need your pencil and paper for this one. What is the integral of the expression 3x squared plus 2x? Clark.
X cubed plus x squared plus c.
That is correct. Who was the Scottish surgeon and medical researcher who earned a share of the Nobel Prize for Medicine in 1945 for his discovery of penicillin? Dax.
Fleming.
Alexander Fleming is correct, along with Howard Florey and Ernst Chain. 2 major female hormones are produced in the ovary. One is progesterone. What is the other? Clark.
Estrogen.
Correct. All right, teams, take a look at the monitors. Here is a member of the Battle of the Brains Brainy Bunch with a question for you.
What language was historically spoken by the Monacan nation?
Clark.
Algonquin.
That is incorrect. First Colonial? The language is called Siouan. This river's tributaries are the Yabis and the Yarmuk. The lowest on earth, what river flows through the Sea of Galilee before emptying into the Dead Sea? Zaid.
The Jordan River.
Correct. It is defined as the science that studies the structure of substances and how they combine and behave. Liam.
Chemistry.
That is correct. According to the New Testament, before becoming one of the 12, the Apostle Matthew had worked in what unpopular capacity? Clark.
A tax collector.
That is correct. What is the name shared by the 2 generals of the ancient Roman Republican period who, as uncle and nephew, both won fame and the honorary title of Africanus during the Punic Wars? Rohan.
Scipio.
Repeat for me, please.
Scipio.
That is correct. The name of this city on the River Clyde comes from the Gaelic for Dear Green Place. Name the shipbuilding centre, the most populous city of Scotland. Clark.
Edinburgh.
That is incorrect. First Colonial? It's the city of Glasgow. Sleeping Beauty and Swan Lake are titles of compositions by what Russian? Clark?
Tchaikovsky.
Correct. Russian composer. Which U.S. president, whose greatest accomplishment was the annexation of Texas, was the first person who became president not being elected to that position? Clark?
Johnson.
That is incorrect. First, Maddie? Polk. It was actually John Tyler. He became the 10th president when William Henry Harrison died in April of 1841. All right, get your pencil and paper ready. Isotope Z has a half-life of 1 day. Exactly 3 days ago, Julie had 1,000 moles of isotope Z. How many moles? Liam?
125.
That is correct. And that buzzer is the end of our first toss-up round. Good job by our team so far. Up next, we'll introduce you to today's players, and then they'll take on the category round when Battle of the Brains comes back.
Miss a week of Battle of the Brains? Want to catch up on the full season of play? Find full episodes on our YouTube channel. Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
Here are the scores following the first toss-up round here on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Ocean Lakes High School with 100 points. Our team from First Colonial High School with 50 points. And we'll get back to our match just ahead. But first, let's learn a little bit about today's players. First, let's meet our team from Ocean Lakes High School. First up is Zaid Mohammed, who says he enjoys traveling to new places and hopes to study aerospace engineering. Next up is Dax Yang, who is Vice President of the Spanish Honor Society, enjoys playing basketball and soccer, and wants to study biomedical engineering. Our team captain is Clark Smith, who is a senior, plays cello in the school's orchestra, is a runner on the track and field and cross-country teams, and will be studying chemistry or physics at the University of Chicago. Congratulations and best of luck with that. Wrapping up our team from Ocean Lakes is Rohan Sagar, who is a junior, is Vice President of the Chemistry Club, enjoys playing the clarinet, and would like to study medicine. That is our team from Ocean Lakes High School. Great to have them here playing Battle of the Brains with us today. And now our team from First Colonial High School. First up is junior Maddie McCall, who is in the Legal Studies Academy, enjoys dance, and wants to go into engineering. Our team captain is Layla Bullard, who enjoys listening to Taylor Swift. She's a senior and likes telling jokes, probably a lot of fun in class, and plans to study law in college. Next up is Liam Wilson, who is a senior, is in the Legal Studies Academy, enjoys playing golf, and plans to study political science in college. And wrapping up our team is Jacob Wilmette, who loves roller coasters, enjoys food, and plans to study film and marketing in college. That's our team from First Colonial High School here with us today for Battle of the Brains. Now our teams are going to take on the category round. They'll select one 10-question category from today's choices. If a team gets all of its questions correct within the allotted time, they'll receive a 20-point bonus. Teams, take a look here at today's categories from which you may choose. They are American Geography, Military Generals, and Famous Pairs. We do note that in this round, only the captains can officially answer for the team, though they may confer with their teammates to try to come up with the correct answers. There's no deferring to another player. By the rules, the high-score team gets first choice of category. That is our team from Ocean Lakes. So, Clark, talk it over with your teammates. Tell me what category you would like to play.
We'll take famous pairs, please.
All right, I will give you one half of a famous pair. You name the other. The first is comedian Cheech.
Pass.
That would be Cheech and Chong. Literature's Green Eggs.
And ham.
Correct. Video games Mario.
Luigi.
Correct. Ice cream's Baskin.
Robbins.
Correct. TV's Beavis.
Butthead.
Correct. Best friends SpongeBob.
Patrick.
Correct. Explorers Lewis.
Clark.
Correct. Salad dressing Oil and
Vinegar.
correct. Animated sci-fi Rick.
Morty.
Correct. And android C-3PO.
R2D2.
That is correct. Good job on your pairs. All right, First Colonial, it will either be American Geography or Military Generals. Layla, what would you and your team like to play?
Okay.
American Geography, please.
All right. In which U.S. state would you find these well-known locations? The first is Elvis Presley's Graceland.
Memphis. It's Memphis.
It's Tennessee.
Tennessee is correct. Mount Rushmore.
That's from South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Correct. Disneyland.
California. California.
California.
Correct. Martin Luther King's Ebenezer Baptist Church.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama.
That would be Georgia. It's in Atlanta. Plymouth Rock.
Rhode Island.
No. Yeah, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
That is correct. Dodge City.
Dodge
Kansas.
City. No, Dodge City.
I've been there. Kansas.
Kansas is correct.
I've been there.
Okay.
Old Faithful.
Oh, is it Montana?
Montana,
Or is it Wyoming?
Montana.
It's in Wyoming. Wrigley Field.
New York.
New York.
That's Illinois and Chicago. Fort Sumter.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Correct. And finally, Dealey Plaza.
New York.
And that was in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
That's where JFK was shot.
Oh.
All right, good job with the category round teams. Up next, another toss-up round when Battle of the Brains returns.
Battle of the Brains is always available. Find full episodes on YouTube and follow Battle of the Brains on social media. Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
Here are the scores following the category round here on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Ocean Lakes High School with 145 points. Our team from First Colonial High School with 80 points. And now it's back to Battle of the Brains and another toss-up round. But first, a reminder to our teams, you do lose points if you interrupt a question with an incorrect answer. The other team will then have the chance to hear the entire question and answer. And there's no conferring in the toss-up rounds. Here we go. What is the oldest continuously operating supermarket chain in the United States? Liam.
Walmart.
That is incorrect. Ocean Lakes. Clark.
Kroger.
Kroger is correct. It was founded in Cincinnati, Ohio in 1883. Okay. In December of 2025, the Fédération Internationale du Football Association presented which world leader with its inaugural Peace Prize? Liam.
Donald Trump.
That is correct. According to Judeo-Christian beliefs, who led the Hebrew slaves out of Egypt? Liam.
Moses.
Correct. Something that evokes a keen sense of sadness or regret is referred to?
Nostalgia.
That is incorrect. Is referred to as poignant. Spell poignant. Liam.
Poignant.
And that is correct. Antoine Lavoisier incorrectly assumed that oxygen was always found in which substances that undergo neutralization reactions with bases? Clark.
Acids.
Correct. In the Avengers comic books, who was the butler at Avengers Mansion? Maddie.
Jarvis.
Correct. Which former Michigan Wolverine was named Sports Illustrated's 2021 Sportsperson of the Year? Dax.
Tom Brady.
Correct. An 1814 attack by the British on what structure in Baltimore Harbor? Liam.
The port.
That is incorrect. An 1814 attack by the British on what structure in Baltimore Harbor inspired Francis Scott Key to write the Star-Spangled Banner? Clark.
Fort McHenry.
That is correct. Mockingjay is the last book in what trilogy? Liam.
The Hunger Games.
Correct, by author Susan Collins. Well before Nikons and iPhones, what was the first successful commercial photographic process? Clark.
Polaroids.
That is incorrect. First Colonial. Liam?
Photo negatives.
It would actually be the daguerreotype or daguerreotype. You may need your pencil and paper. Chad is mailing a college application that weighs 6 ounces. If it costs 40 cents for the first ounce and 25 cents for each additional ounce, how much will Chad pay for postage? Clark.
$1.65.
That is correct. The Book of Life is sometimes used to describe what complete DNA sequence of an organism? Clark.
Genome.
Correct. You have to rescue Zapfish to keep moving in Octo Valley while playing what video game? Zaid.
Splatoon.
Correct. Which Canadian maritime province has its capital at Halifax? Rohan.
PEI.
That is incorrect. First Colonial. Liam?
Alberta.
It's actually Nova Scotia. Passing algebra is a prerequisite for taking calculus. Spell prerequisite. Liam.
PEREQUISITE. ISITE.
That is correct. Recently, the U.S. Embassy in Israel was moved to Jerusalem from which coastal city? Zaid.
Tel Aviv.
Correct. Who became First Lord of the Admiralty in September of 1939, 8 months before succeeding Neville Chamberlain as Prime Minister of the Clark?
Churchill.
That is correct. Winston Churchill became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Water behind a dam represents what type of energy? Rohan.
Potential energy.
Correct. All right, watch the monitors. Here's a member of the Brainy Bunch to give you another question.
What was the name of the company whose 3 ships were boarded by the Sons of Liberty during the Boston Tea Party?
Liam,
Dutch East India Company.
say again for me, please.
Dutch East India Company.
That is incorrect. Ocean Lakes? Clark?
The British East India Company.
That is correct. And that buzzer means one more toss-up round just ahead, and we'll double the point value. Stay tuned to see which team is today's winner here on Battle of the Brains.
Love Battle of the Brains? Ready for your high school team to play next season? Go to battleofthebrains.net to learn more. Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
Here are the scores as we head now into the final round on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Ocean Lakes High School with 235 points. Our team from First Colonial High School with 130 points. And in this last toss-up round, the point score for a correct answer is doubled, but so is the penalty for an incorrect answer given before I finish the question. There's no deduction for an incorrect answer to a completed question. Good luck, teams. This is our final toss-up round. The Boers, among the earliest white settlers of South Africa, were of what West European heritage? Rohan.
Netherlands.
Judges, we will accept that. Dutch, yes. Distracted with honey cakes by Psyche, what creature was captured during Heracles' last labor and served as the guard dog of Hades? Clark.
Cerberus.
Correct. You may need your pencil and paper to find the circumference of a circular disc whose area is 100 pi square centimeters. Clark.
20 pi.
That is correct. With a population of under 10,000, what is the smallest U.S. state capital city? Liam.
Juneau.
That is incorrect. Ocean Lakes? Clark?
Cheyenne.
It's actually Montpelier, Vermont. What baseball position requires the players to wear shin guards? Clark?
Catcher.
Correct. In physics, what is the standard unit of measure for energy and work? Liam?
Joules.
Correct. Beginning in 1929, the rapid and general turndown in the world's economy was triggered by the collapse of the stock market in what industrialized nation? Clark?
The United States.
Correct. What sport affords you a driver, a sand wedge, and water? Clark?
Golf.
Correct, while at the same time presents an opportunity for you to see eagles and other birdies. How many dimensions does a semicircle have? Clark?
2.
Correct, it has length and width but no depth. In biology, what is the name of the sheath that covers the axons of nerve cells? Rohan?
Myelin.
Correct. Salt acts as a preservative for meat by inducing what process in microbes, causing them to lose water that travels outside to the high salt area? Clark?
Dehydration.
That is incorrect. First Colonial. Maddie?
Maillard.
It's actually osmosis. Scientific analysis has revealed that the Hope Diamond was once part of the famed French blue, a giant blue diamond first owned and worn by what French king known as the Sun King? Clark?
Louis XIV.
Correct. In what year was the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution ratified? Liam?
1920.
Correct, giving women the right to vote. The last move of which game is derived from the Persian word shah-mat? Rohan?
Chess.
Correct. It translates to the king is dead or checkmate. What artist was known for his 1960s pop art such as paintings of soup cans? Dax?
Warhol.
Andy Warhol is correct. Name either of the 2 mammals that lay eggs. Layla?
Platypus.
The duck-billed platypus or the echidna? Yes. Name the director of the films E.T., Jaws? Liam?
Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg is correct. What is the color of the horseshoe crab's blood? Clark?
Blue.
Correct. When there are many collisions, a hash table degrades to be the equivalent of what type of list? Liam?
Linear.
That is incorrect. Ocean Lakes? Clark?
A tree.
It's actually linked, a linked list. The longest river in Virginia was named in 1607 after the then King of England. Liam?
James.
That is correct. Reginald Blythe wrote a history of this poetic form, which originated as openings for tanka and have only 17 syllables. Name this three-line Japanese poetic form. Maddie?
Haiku.
That's correct. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1962. Name this author of Grapes of Wrath. Clark?
Steinbeck.
John Steinbeck is correct. Deposed by Italian dictator Benito Mussolini in 1939, King Zog I was the ruler of what Balkan state? Clark?
Albania.
Correct. And that buzzer is the end of our game. While our judges double-check the final score, here's a reminder of how you can stay connected with us here at Battle of the Brains.
Stay up to date on Battle of the Brains. Follow along as your favorite teams advance this season. Visit battleofthebrains.net to learn more and follow along at Battle of the Brains on social media. Join us next week on Battle of the Brains as we welcome students from Ocean Lakes High School playing against students from Princess Anne High School. Don't miss the action.
Here is the final score for today's match, determining which team will continue on in this season's competition. Ending the round with a final score of 250 points, our team from First Colonial High School. Great job today by Maddie, Layla, Liam, and Jacob. Thanks for playing Battle of the Brains, and best of luck with the rest of the school year. Our winners of this match with a final score of 515 points, our team from Ocean Lakes High School. Great job today by Zaid, Dax, Clark, and Rohan, and we will see you all in the next round. Congratulations. I'm Cheryl Miller. Thank you for watching and playing along here on Battle of the Brains, and we'll see you back here next week. Great match, teams.
Game over. Thank you for watching Battle of the Brains, presented by Invest 529. Goodbye.